It's time for Side Scrollers with me, Stuttering Craig.
You decide when you lose, not other people.
And Blabs.
I like pickles.
And co-hosted by our friends from around the internet. If you like common sense, hit that thumbs up button and, of course, the subscribe button. And join us Monday through Friday live at 11 a.m. Central Time. And now, broadcasting from our homes, it's time for the #1 gaming and entertainment podcast on God's green earth. It's time for Side Scrollers.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome on out to Side Scrollers on YouTube.com and Rumble.com and SideScrollers.locals.com. What is going on, everybody? Hey, happy Wednesday to you. Are you ready for a great day? You are? Oh, my God. Good Lord. Hey, everybody. I'm Stuttering Craig. Look, we got a great show today. Yes, we're going to be talking Star Wars. Yes, we're going to be talking about Monkey Ball Blabs. Yes, we're going to be talking about Call of Duty. And yes, we're going to be talking about Halo. And yes, I never thought I'd say this, but we're going to be talking about Concord again. I thought that game was long gone, but no, it keeps giving us more stuff. Long gone before it's even out. But here we are. Hello, Blabs.
Hi, everybody. Happy Wednesday. I forgot what day it was for a second, but hi.
It is Wednesday. I'm glad you're here.
Yeah. By the way.
Nice shirt. Let's go.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good stuff. Well, hey, glad to hear you looking very side scrollers up today. You got the old school hat on. You got the
We didn't get a normal men hat, by the way, because this says G2 on it. We got to get like a normal hat.
Normal men merchandise will be coming in the future. 100%. Yes. Just normal men. It's great. But today there are no more men on the show. But at the same time, everybody is a normal man. Let's introduce our next normal man. It's Magick Moonshot. Hello.
Yeah, just a normal man holding a baby as we do. Now, thanks for having me back. I'm excited about the show.
I'm glad you're here. We're going to dive deep into the insanity today because there's insanity surrounding you again in the Halo world. Which, hey, why are you such a troublemaker for being a woman? It's ridiculous.
I'm sorry, I didn't really have much choice in the matter, but here we are. And, the pre-show, we were kind of talking backstage about the only thing surprising now is how much I'm not surprised by things that happen in this industry.
That's right. Listen, every single day, it's a mountain of crap. It's crazy. I'll tell you what, someone who is not a mountain of crap. It's Lady Gravemaster. Hello.
Hello. Yes, I'm a hill of crap, not a mountain of crap. Just tiny.
You tell them, lady.
That's right. You're like the ant pile that is slowly getting larger and larger as it goes along.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, glad you joined us today. How are your dogs? If we hear your dogs, we won't be surprised though, right?
No, yes. My dogs, anytime that they have to go outside and I don't go with them, they've assumed that I've abandoned them and are just going to leave them out to never be seen again. And they sit at the sliding door and try and get me to look at them. But they have ham bones, so they should be good for a while.
Love that. Yes. Hey, way to pacify those pups. That's good stuff. And, my dogs are the same way. You let them outside and they are so excited to go outside. And as soon as you open the door, they go outside, take 2 steps, and they turn right back around and they look at you with their big old puppy eyes. And they say, aren't you going to come? And then if you don't come, guess what? You're the bad guy for letting them outside. Yeah, it's amazing. So I'll tell you what, who is not the bad guy. Valkyrie Winter came in with a $50 super chat. Says, we need the jiggles and the ooh-woo for us normal men. Love watching you guys every night. For me, it's at 1:30 a.m. Wow. Well, thank you so much for popping
Australian
on.
time.
Blabs.
Dang.
Valkyria the jiggles. Give it.
Yeah.
Oh, let's go. The $50 jiggle. Didn't mean to block that off. Sorry.
There you go.
Hey, that's outstanding. And thank you to that lady for providing us that wonderful clip. Hey, Lady G, you get your first timer. You get to pick. This is your first time, right? You get to pick the color.
Let's go with the turquoise.
Turquoise. I guess that's blue, huh?
Yep.
Blue? Okay, sounds good. All right. Thank you very much. That's outstanding, Valkyria. You notice I did add something to our background, Blabs, right over this shoulder over here. Every single new member that we get, I'm going to add to it, and we can keep track of how many new members we have on the back end, which is great. And yes, by the way, that is straight out of a deli shop. I ordered it on Amazon. I thought it'd be really fun. So there we go. Valkyria, thank you very much. And thanks for hanging out with us at 1:30 in the morning your time, which is odd because I don't really know how it's 1:30 in the morning when we start at the top of an hour instead of the bottom of the hour.
Oh, it's because it's not all equal around the world, Craig.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
There's how does that work? How does the time zone get cut in half?
It's been working like that since the dawn of time, Craig. I don't know.
It doesn't make any sense to me. My brain is broken right now. That's not the first time it's happened, though. Valkyria, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
You make me sad.
I don't know. That sounds like, as pointed out in the chat, sounds like a lie by Edge Walker. I don't understand. Labs, would you please read that off from Autistic Accountant, please?
Autistic Account for $10 says, "Good morning, lady and gents. I sent you a joke through Streamlabs for yesterday's show. I don't know if Craig Streamlabs wears floaties in the... I don't know what SL stands for. I'm guessing Streamlabs wears floaties in the shower, but didn't get read. Oh, well. Dus vote to you lot."
Okay, hold on. I think I saw that at the very, very end of the show. I think you came in like super early yesterday, and I apologize for not getting that. But yes, yesterday with $5 direct donation, Autistic Accountant says, "Morning, lady and gents. I'm just here because my name gives Blabs snail trails, unlike Taryn, the asphalt burrito chompers." Well, thank you very much, Autistic Accountant. Don't know if that's a joke or a threat, but we appreciate that. Thank you, Autistic Accountant. All right. Look, we got a lot going on today. We have it is side scroll hers in the best way possible. If it's your first time tuning in over on Rumble, do us a favor, hit the follow button as we are approaching 8,000 followers over there. Why do we love Rumble Blabs?
Because it grows organically.
That's right. We love organic growth over there. We also have an X account at Side Scroller Pod. You can follow us over there. You could have found out that Magick was going to be on the show, that Lady G was going to be on the show by following us at Side Scroller Pod. You can also watch the show every single day over there if you want to watch us over on X. We also have an Instagram account, don't we, Blabs?
We do, so follow us for memes and clips of the show. Otherwise, no sandwiches for you.
A lack of sandwiches is the worst punishment.
Oh, dude, sandwiches are top tier. If you miss out, ruins your day.
The sandwich tier show needs to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty.
Along with cereal. We've been saying that since February.
Yeah. Well, you know what, Blabs? I think what we should do, and I'm dead serious about this. I think what we do is I fly you down here for like a week, right? We do a week of shows from here. Rearrange. What's that?
Am I going to eat a lot of food?
Yeah. I stuff you full of cereal and all sorts of stuff. It'll be great.
I'm going to rate it live.
I think that'd be fun, and we could do the my hot sauce challenge thing that I have over here.
Oh, no.
I'm just saying, it'd be great.
No, you can do the hot sauce challenge. I'll admit that one.
Well, yeah, that's fine. I'll do it. Do you think? I think we should probably fly you down here for a week, and we should do a week worth of shows. I think that'd be really fun.
Okay.
People would really.
I want to
enjoy
explore Texas. Can we go to a range?
A shooting range? Yeah, we can. Absolutely.
Well, do you want to explore Texas, or do you want to go to a range? Because when you go to a range, you get hooked and you don't want to leave. So
I want to do both. I'll be good. I'll be good.
Oh man,
my obsession is Harry Potter, not guns. I'll be fine.
We could do all sorts of IRL streams throughout the week. Blabs goes to
Buc-ee's.
Oh my God, Buc-ee's. Yeah, that'd be great.
Literally, Craig sent me a text message and I freaked out. I was like, oh my God, why is he texting me on a weekend? I thought something happened. And he's like, just a photo of him at Buc-ee's. I was like, I was actually panicking when he texted me. I was like, oh my God, what happened? What did I do wrong? It's Sunday.
Yep. It's important. It's a way of life, that Buc-ee's.
Buc-ee's.
With all
I went to Buc-ee's for the first time in January this year, and it was an eye-opening experience going to Buc-ee's.
Mm-hmm.
See? I gotta go.
Yeah.
You'll get it. One day Blabs will understand. One day soon. This will be good.
Mm-hmm.
So here we are. We're ready to rock. Once again, we are live over on Kick as well at kick.com/sidescrollers. You can also listen to the show every single day over on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And of course, you can find us over at sidescrollers.locals.com, which is the best place to support us. If you'd like to support us on a month-to-month basis or an annual basis, you can do it over there. it's a great place to do it. And that's where the most of your money will go, which is great. Because, you know, like YouTube takes like 30%, Rumble takes like 30%. Locals takes like 5%, I think. It's super low. So anyway, it's a great place to support. With all that said, if it's your first time tuning in over here on YouTube, do us a favor, hit the subscribe button. Join the 83,400 subscribers over here who love common sense in the video game and entertainment space. Do us a favor, hit the thumbs up button, as our goal is 900 likes. We're getting close, Blabs. We may get to that 1,000 like goal here soon. We started at, what did we start at? 200, I think, back in the day?
200, 300.
Yeah, it's great. Let's do our best to get to 25 memberships. We'll keep track of that actually over my shoulder here. See that right there? That's what that's there for every.
You should just leave it as now serving instead of putting memberships over it. I think it just has more charm now serving.
Well, no, by the time I'm done with it, I'm going to put a piece of tape over it and like it'll be crossover and just say memberships written all like, you know, bad and stuff. It'll be great. It'll look good by the time it's done. So
have one of your daughters draw on the tape and make something cool of it, memberships or whatever.
My daughters have better membership than better handwriting.
They have better memberships than I do.
They have better handwriting than I do, Blabs. That's the problem. So
yeah. Oh well, I don't know.
But I'll tell you what, Blabs, I would be remiss. We all know it is Pride Month, and it's time to be very prideful. So I need everybody to open up the link down in the description and go pick up the American Pride T-shirt, available right now through the remainder of the month, probably through July 4th. I want this shirt to sell and sell a lot. So make sure you guys go over there and pick it up. Show your pride of the American Pride shirt, available until they're gone or till the end of the month. Like Star Fox DJ came in and picked one up. Says, love watching the show. It feels like sitting at a lunch table talking games with my friends back in the 90s. Oh, that's awesome. That's one of the best endorsements I could possibly get. Well, thank you very much. Appreciate that. And John Kanji came in with a $5 direct donation. Says, Craig, what's up with all the rain in Texas? Can you please make it stop for Saturday? Dude, it's been nuts. Every day, there's a lot of rain, and every day it's stupid. And every day I go, when is it going to stop raining? It's like living in Seattle right now. Every day there's rain. It's stupid. My lawn's super overgrown. It's a pain in the butt. I got to get out and mow. It's stupid. RL Dog came in with the 5. Says, hopefully one day Craig will learn to pronounce Valkyria's name correctly. Blabs, how do you feel about pickle ketchup? Yes, that is correct, RL Dog. One day, that's the hope. I have a 3-month leeway like Jeremy did. It took him like 3 months to learn how to say the name. Blabs, your thoughts on pickle ketchup, also known as relish?
Oh, I don't actually like relish and all that stuff. I'm very picky. So
yeah.
Where do you stand on sauerkraut?
I hate it.
Oh, it's okay.
Wow.
We can still be friends. You just not had good sauerkraut.
No, I have. I just don't like it.
For me, the sauerkraut thing is kind of really, I can't do it. It's called sour and kraut for some reason. Just the name is not very appealing to me.
Yeah.
Just throwing it out there.
But on a Reuben sandwich, that's the only way I'll eat sauerkraut.
But brats, like that is a summer staple.
Ah, sorry. I would go
brats?
for a Reuben though.
Who's brat?
Brat.
Hold on, you've never had a brat before?
It's a sauce. It's I think hot dog, but actual real meat.
Hold on.
Blabs doesn't know what a brats are?
You've never had a bratwurst before?
Probably. I don't know. Is there another name for it?
You've never had a brat before? A bratwurst?
You can't even ride a motorcycle. Shut up.
I can ride a motorcycle. I just choose not to ride a motorcycle.
You've never been on one. How can you drive one?
I got my Blabs. I'll have you know, I got my first ticket riding a motorcycle.
You said you never rode one yesterday.
Well,
what's the story, Craig?
Not of legal age.
You son of throne of lies.
Not of legal age. I got one when I was before
what,
16.
when you were 10?
Yeah. 14,
Hey,
yes.
Listen, those little 100 cc bike, they'll destroy you. They'll wreck you if you're not careful. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm. Look, Blabs, that's another thing we'll introduce to you down here. No, bratwurst.
Oh, okay, cool, man.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Guide this child
I don't
to
know
the
how I feel
light.
about that. No, listen, like, there's some really fatty things that I won't eat. Is it fatty?
It's a hot dog, Blabs.
It's
yeah,
not.
well, I literally lived like away from hot dogs for over a decade.
It's like a hot dog, but better because it's like actual meat.
Yeah, it's good. You'll like it. It's not made of like.
I had food poisoning in my 8th grade barbecue from eating a hot dog once, and I didn't touch it for over a decade because.
Okay,
of
it's not a hot dog. It's
not-
sausage.
What did they cook it in?
I don't know. I died, bro. I'm like, I hate all of you. It was the teachers who were
died.
cooking. I was throwing up. I missed school. I was so mad because I was so obsessed with perfect attendance when I was like 12. So I hate them.
Well,
They ruined it.
Listen, you're gonna eat a brat while you're down here.
Fine.
You're gonna do it.
Okay, but you have beer brats, you have cheddar brats, you've got it's okay. When I say
Hold on.
beer brats and cheddar,
Lady-
it's not what
lady-
you're thinking.
Lady G is about to go Forrest Gump on us with all the brats.
Yeah.
Listen, okay, but so my maternal side, it's all German, so I grew up on German food and different stuff like that. And even though you can never tell my grandfather that I said this, I was stunned to find out that Portugal has better sausage than Germany. If my grandfather ever hears me say that, he would probably disown me. But when you talk about like bratwurst, it's all about how you case it, what part, like how you form it, and then if you do anything to it, like there's jalapeno brats, but that is more, it's like the equivalent of like Tex-Mex. It's like Americans got a hold of it and decided that they needed to attempt to Americanize it.
Mm-hmm.
But when you get like an actual bratwurst, it's so good. You're gonna be if you do come to Texas, you should take her to Schlitterbahn, Craig.
So Schlitterbahn is about Schlitterbahn is
Where are we
about-
going?
It's one of the its reputation is it's the best water park in Texas.
It's the best water park in America. I've been to a lot.
Can we go?
It's amazing, and there's actually a huge German population in Texas. So like the Dakotas have a big German population, and Texas has a really big German population. The beer, the brats, the sauerkraut, it's all very good, and they lean into it. Like they're not ashamed of it. It's Germany before modernism took over.
Yes.
And industry took over.
All right. Well, let me ask you a question. So, I don't like casings. I don't like the taste of it at all. So, anytime I eat like sausages and all that, I actually like get that off and peel it off and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, this bratwurst thingamabobber.
So bratwursts, when you cook them correctly, they burst out of the casing.
Oh, okay. We're fine then.
So here's the thing: we could sit here and talk sausages all day long, right?
I mean, we could. Yeah.
We really could. Sorry, yes. I will rabbit hole if you don't stop me.
I want food now.
That's okay. It's okay. We're gonna need to. We'll do this some other time. But
we'll have a sausage fest some other time.
Yeah. So, but I'll say this: there's this thing called Worst Fest. Yeah.
Oh yes.
That's right, Torgo. That's right. Torgo knows. Listen, I do think that there's an entire opportunity to have a spin-off channel that's just about food. I think that'd be spectacular. But there is a thing called Worst Fest. It's in New Braunfels, Texas, which is a German, like it's more like a German community in Texas. And check this out, Blabs. Isn't that the best?
I want to go.
I know
you.
It's the worst. It is the best worst. In my hometown. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, lady. Go ahead.
I was gonna say in my hometown, there's a shop. It's called The Worst Shop, and it's WURST, and it is so good. And they have kuchen, they have brats, they have. You're probably not gonna like this one, Blabs, but it's very common. Pickled pig's feet. It is a thing. It is a thing, and yes, I have eaten it.
I know it's a thing. I'm just not about it.
You don't have to be about it, but it is definitely a thing. And so they'll have a whole bunch of that. And it's such good food. I loved the dude with the beard that he had dyed his beard the German flag colors. That's good. Side dishes. That's a good idea.
Dude, let's go, Mark. Let's go. You're a
I was
branding.
gonna be like cooking with the queen, but no, I like side dishes a lot better.
Side dishes is great. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Hey, Ian says it's gonna be man versus food blabs edition. Let's go.
Mhm. You
Get
know
it
what
done.
the 50 means?
Yes, I do.
Where are they? Ha! There they are.
Good for you, Ian. Enjoy that. Just keep
Mhm.
staring. Look at
There you
that.
go. Now we have all the jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. My mind don't jiggle, jiggle. It wiggles like hers.
Ian, thank you very much for that. That's incredibly generous and much appreciated. Peter says, I didn't expect this show to become such a
love you, bud.
You know, Peter, that's the irony of this
Sorry.
being Tide Scroll Hers and it being a sausage fest. Here we
Right?
are.
Listen,
love it.
good food. There are a few things that transcend everything else in this world, and food is one of them. You have food, great storytelling, music, art, like actual art, not this modern BS. But I mean, I know people who are not religious at all who go into the Sistine Chapel and they're like, it's literally a religious experience. So it's wild when they're just like you can feel it, and then of course Jesus Christ, because I got to throw that out there. But
Well,
those things transcend the petty differences that we have as humans. Food is one of the best ways to have a gathering.
I agree. Food brings people together. The best way to get things done is to sit around a table and talk. And then ultimately, the best thing to do as a business owner is to pay for the meal. That's the best marketing you can do.
There you go.
There you
Can
go.
we go to the water park?
You will legit have so much fun. I
Yeah.
am not even kidding.
Yeah.
We'll figure all that out later. We can't sit here talking about all the stuff.
Dude, I'm a little adrenaline junkie. I like water parks and things.
All right, we'll figure it out later. Blabs. Oh, look at this. A lady of Hyrule came in and says, I love that we spent 20 minutes talking sausages on Side Scroll Hers. That's right.
It's not
Yes.
talked about enough.
Right.
Hey, Rimdog says Blabs plus Durnal equals. I don't even know what that means. Rimdog, I'm sorry.
Drindle.
Veronia says, I'd like to belated nominate Dozer Man as yesterday's normal man of the day. He just wanted to live his life in peace. But the government didn't. That's right. Yeah, that was the 20-year anniversary of that yesterday, for sure.
So the drindle, like, I'm gonna just hop in there. The drindle is the dress. It's the name of the dress of the German
Yeah,
lady.
I like that with it.
Ah.
I actually have one. Someone sent to me on my throne last
Wear
year,
it.
so I do have one. I wore it once.
Or
Good
just
enough.
Photoshop it over the girl that does the jiggle for donations.
Oh my god.
Do it.
I can do wonderful things. It's great. RL Dog says, not relish. Heinz put out pickled flavored ketchup. By the way, this was the super chat that sent us down the rabbit hole right here. So
I
pickled
blame
flavored
RL
ketchup.
Dog.
That's right. Pickled flavored ketchup, Blabs? Thoughts?
No. No.
They have pickle flavored
Just
chips
because-
too.
Yeah, no. Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Yes.
Good point.
Did you see the clip of the girl who is like, they've pickled all these things. How come they haven't pickled cucumbers yet? Have you seen that?
No.
I was like,
idea.
oh God, we're doomed as a society. We are well and truly doomed.
Well established. We were long on the way down of being doomed in our society. Hey, Solid Monkey came in as a member for 2 months. Says, my friend just successfully launched a skincare line. He loves the show. Shout out to Mike Roch Itishi. Well, thank you very much, Mike, our Solid Monkey, and congratulations to Mike for launching his skincare line. Did I just? Oh, I get it. Got it. Foiled again by the chat. Listen, somebody said this yesterday on YouTube and on X, and they're right. It's almost like Mo getting a prank call on The Simpsons back in the day. That's really what it's like when you send a super chat in and I just get screwed over, or Blabs get screwed over.
I got a timestamp of that. You're welcome.
Yes, that's good. Of course,
It just says Craig is itchy.
That's good. That says, if y'all want to range here in Central Florida, we have a GUN club that has 1,000-yard distance as a U.S. As a Marine Corps vet. That's almost sniper distance. Y'all are welcome to join me. Well, thanks, Autistic Accountant.
Autistic Accountant, are you Iron Sights or are you RCO?
Oh, geez, look at this. We're going deep dive.
Well,
Phil,
as a vet myself, as a Marine vet myself, he's not wrong, but it matters. Like, is he doing iron sights or is he doing RCO? But I'll let it go. Sorry. Go ahead.
Phil says Blabs is Guamanian, and she doesn't have, and she hasn't even been to McKraut's in Guam. It has some of the best German sausage and beer in the world. Get there now. Thanks, Phil. Appreciate that. How sad. Hey, check it out. Check it out. Look, we have a brand new member, which means Anzac gets. Look at it. Check it out. Watch. It should go. Hold on. Whoop. There we go. Let's go. That's one for the day. All right. Love that. Hey, thank you very much for becoming a brand new member. All right, we can say we see all your super chats, we see all your direct donations, we see your Rumble rants. We're going to read every single one, but we're 25 minutes in. We've been talking about sausage for 20 minutes, so it's time to and sausage and pickles. Yes.
So maybe we can find something else similarly shaped, like rockets.
Yes.
Or cucumbers.
Or dicks. Blabs, give us today in gaming history.
Okay, so today's June 5th, which makes Capcom's Gold Medal Challenge of 1992 32 years old today. Earthbound is 29 years. What? I
said, oh, yes, Capcom's Gold Medal Challenge 92, the classic Olympic-style tie-in. Sorry, continue.
I thought you would enjoy that one.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I can't tell if you're being sarcastic. Anyway, Earthbound is 29 years old, and Warhammer is 6 years old today, releasing back in 2018.
Love that. Speaking of Earthbound, I Am the Icarus came in, says, can we please talk about the horrifying ending to Earthbound when we get to gaming history? Forever haunted. Yes, for those who don't know, Earthbound, the ending of it is freakishly weird. Like you're fighting, I'm not kidding, like a fetus. It's weird. It's bizarre. It just go watch it sometimes. It's very, very odd. So anyways, yes.
Is it in a pregnant woman's stomach? Like I
don't know the best way to describe it. Outside of it's very eerie, very weird, and it's very unsettling. I think that's the way to describe the ending of Earthbound. So it's messed up.
Well, I guess I know what I'm gonna have to go find out. All right.
Trust me, it's weird. Hey, Bentley guy over on Rumble came in and says Asian sausages are pretty tasty. Taken, they are on the smaller side. Hey, thanks, Shane. Appreciate that. Thanks for your wonderful message. All right, let's get into it. It's time for my favorite segment, your favorite segment, everybody in the world's favorite segment. It's time for Hard News. Hard News. All right, ladies. Blabs, this one, I'll tell you this. Blabs like, we got to talk about this. We have to talk about this. I'm not doing the show if we don't talk about this. That's literally what she said. She threw her sausage on the table, and that's what she said.
It was a really big one.
Yes. Super Monkey Ball Banana Rumble is here. And Blabs wanted to talk about it. Would you like to see the trailer for Super Monkey Ball Banana Rumble?
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. So
I'm sure it's going to be gripping. I'm sure it's going to be extremely gripping, Blabs.
I'm excited. I like this.
All right, watch out for the story.
What?
Okay. Fly with tails. Yep.
Why are Sonic and Tails and Monkey Ball?
That's why I said what?
This doesn't make any sense. What?
Where are my monkeys? Who are they? No.
What? I think the balls are the monkeys, honey.
No.
No. Monkey Ball is a real game.
I know.
But where's the monkey?
Sonic's team stole the balls from the monkey, obviously.
I don't like this. I'm so disappointed.
The real monkeys are the friends we made along the way, Blabs.
There you go.
This was not what I was expecting. I'm so disappointed.
Look at the cover image. Even has
monkeys.
It has monkeys in it.
The Sonic and all them are DLCs, are included in Sega Pass.
Well, then hold on. They're promoting the DLC before the game's even out. How are they? What?
If I had to guess, it's because more people are familiar with Sonic. And isn't Sonic 3 coming out this year?
I'm so sad.
Sonic.
So-
Sonic 3. Oh yeah, the movie. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, hey,
Don't do that to me. I was like, isn't it Sonic 3? Did I miss one?
I don't know how I feel about that. Like, it's called Super Monkey Ball, not Super Sonic Ball. And if you want to call it Super Sonic Ball, call it Super Sonic Ball. You know?
I just really wanted a trailer for the monkeys. They should have just said, "Hey, this is a DLC trailer, not a DLC, like a trailer for the game." Whatever.
All in the chat.
My disappointment is immeasurable. Forget it.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I mean, understandable, and rightfully so. I get it. You have every right to be upset. It's
Do
ridiculous.
not
game
mess
is gonna
with balls.
So please affirm our feelings, okay?
The
We
game's
can't
gonna
even-
flop because Blabs is angry at it.
Right.
I
People are
am the
so upset
market.
right now.
Blabs is the
You
market.
are. Yes. Wow. Okay. That's not where I was expecting to go because I had not watched that either, and I'm shocked at the lack of representation for monkeys in that. It's crazy. All right, let's go to Disney World now. This has been talked about at length over the last few weeks, or I guess the last week or so. We talked about this when they shut it down a year ago. The ride at Disney that was Splash Mountain, and they shut down Splash Mountain to give it a remake, turn it into a ride called Tiana's Bayou Adventure. And if you recall, they announced shutting it down like in 2020, I believe. Like after all, like the insanity of that summer and racial stuff and blah 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 blah. And they're like, we're gonna make it Tiana's Bayou Adventure and we're gonna cure racism. Well, they have announced it and they are actually doing test rides for it so far, and it's not going very well, to say the least. As cast members have been like evacuated, people who are riding it. It's just been one of those things where there's been hiccup after hiccup after hiccup on this ride. Like you see the little thing is just right there in the middle, just sitting there. Ride just breaking down for no reason, and it's faced a lot of backlash as we go to that park place over here, which is crazy because they have this. They actually went out and they released for the first time. Disney released a full point of view ride. They've never done this with any other ride, as far as I know.
I think they have.
Well, there's been unofficial ones, but I don't know if Disney's ever done it, right? People do this all the time. There's these have like millions of views. I used to watch these all like when my kids were like itty bitty, like 2, 3, 4. We would watch rides on the TV, and it was like almost like a test to see if they would like it if we went to Disney World, right? And but this is getting ratioed in the worst way possible over on YouTube. People are not excited about this. You can see the ratio here of the 22,000 downvotes versus 9,000 upvotes. It's not very good. So the response to this has been really negative. We go over to like Lorena over here. Tiana's Bayou Adventure explained in one photo. Another Dark Void, but with trees. One animatronic. Dark Void, also Dark Void, your log. And you slowly just go through. It's just in a very, and which is, pretty funny. And Lorena's actually ridden it, I believe. So there's that. And there's also the big criticism that Disney, like all the fun and all the imagination that comes from these rides at Disney World has been just sanitized. And this is a great example right here. This was the "You May Get Wet" sign previously, and this is what it looks like now. Which is like,
yeah, the charm is just gone. And this isn't the first instance for that. For the signs, they've been doing this often, and I don't see a reason to change the signs.
They're trying to make it for Disney adults, so they're no longer really targeting kids. They're targeting millennials specifically, but also some older Gen Zers and some younger Gen Xers. Because how many of us can remember, I don't want to grow up, I just want to be a Toys R Us kid, right? Like this whole perpetuating childhood, and not like the innocence of childhood, but the lack of responsibility and just going and doing the fun, cute little things and playing the games and buying the toys, going to the parks, and not really taking any type of adult responsibility with it, if that makes any sense. And so Disney, what they're doing is they're destroying themselves trying to appeal to adults who want what they had before and they don't want these sanitized changes. Like, I watched that POV and I was like, this is the most like boring, safe, ridiculous ride I've ever witnessed. Like, the fact that, and I saw that people had said it, Dr. Facilier, or however you say his name, isn't in there anywhere, especially when it's such a dark ride. Like, why don't you have him popping up and giving you like those jump scares?
Right. He's the bad guy in the movie.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it would make sense to have some sort of bad things happening throughout, especially in a dark space. There have been this alligator, I don't really know his name, but apparently his mouth has stopped working several times. Here it's moving fine because it's obviously an official outlet, but you wonder how many times they had to film this, going through this POV to make sure that it worked all right.
They do a lot of cuts. This POV
they
has
just cropped it together. Like,
yeah.
oh, this one worked. Let's put that in the final edit.
There's lots of cuts in this POV, and I'm just like, my God, this is 9.5 minutes, and if this is all that there is, it is not worth the queue line.
Yeah, I'll say this.
It's just very unimaginative.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's like, at least you tried. What's that meme? At least you tried, right?
Well, my biggest thing was with this, The Princess and the Frog. Now, I've not seen this movie, so from what I hear, it's a really good movie, but I actually read the original books that came out way before the movie did, and they sold the rights to Disney. It has nothing to do with Tiana. I don't even know who Tiana is. Like, this entire story that they created isn't even based off the books. So that was always my issue, and I always am like, the books were great. You had to change it for what reason? So that's my whole thing. I'm like, I'm not even gonna bother with you.
Yeah, that's one of my. The Princess and the Frog is one of my favorite fairy tales. Like, when I found out that it was going to be in New Orleans and there was no golden ball or well or anything like that, and I was just like, why? It was perfect the way it was. I liked the movie, but you can tell they bought the rights to the story solely so they could get the name, and then changed everything.
They changed everything. Yeah.
Like, this isn't like. Sorry.
No, go on. I was gonna say there's like no Millie or any of those characters in there.
Yeah, nothing. And this isn't like in Cinderella where they just didn't put in like the sisters chopping off their toes or getting attacked by birds, because like you're not gonna put that in a Disney film necessarily, especially not when you're trying to be like a happy fairy tale. So you're not gonna show that part. So that makes sense. But this was such a derailment of the actual story. It doesn't look anything like it.
You're muted, Craig.
So, yeah. I was going through and I was trying to find this clip. Do you guys remember Ernest P. Whirl? Do you have any idea who this guy is, this character, Ernest? Any idea? You never heard of this guy? So Ernest P. Whirl was a character in like the late 80s and early 90s. He had this guy named Jim Varney played him. And he was a really pretty prominent character for like a decade. He had all sorts of movies. Ernest Goes to Jail. Ernest Goes to Camp.
I have seen those. Yes.
Right. So when Splash Mountain was opening, they had a big Ernest Goes to Splash Mountain, like paid for and created by Disney, right? Aww. And it's so corny and so fun. I want to watch a few seconds of it. We may get hit for copyright, but I think it's really ridiculous. And you don't see, this is clearly built for kids, right? And but at the same time, this is the type of things that got people excited for Splash Mountain back then. I imagine this probably would have aired on ABC or something along those lines, during a Disney hour or something. But check this out.
Now I am a mean, lean, flume zooming machine. Know what I mean?
Well, how does it feel to be the first person to actually ride this awesome mountain?
Piece of cake. You show me the mountain, I'll ride it.
I'll make sure that everything is perfectly set and the conditions are just right. Ernest is taking off, and you probably couldn't hear his parting words over the shouts of the crowd, but it sounded something like, "This is a small step for humankind, but a big old leapfrog for Ernest."
So they have all the characters. It's obviously very staged, right? They have all the characters set up. He rides through the ride, and he gets to the end, the big splash part. Let's see if we can play here. Dang it, X. Why do you suck so bad? Their video player is so horrendous. It's crazy.
Mhm.
But he gets to the end, and it's just absolutely spectacular after he goes down the side here. Here we go. This is him going down the big thing.
It's so much fun.
Right. It's so much fun and so ridiculous.
It's
and then
cute.
He gets off the ride.
Let's watch as he disembarks. How was it, Ernest? Ernest, you appear somewhat shaken. How do you feel?
No.
Ernest, would you recommend Splash Mountain to the guests who come to Disneyland?
Yeah, it was great. I'd recommend Splash Mountain to anyone. Things like Splash Mountain keep you young. That and blood transfusions and organ transplants and cosmetic surgery. I feel great. Yeah.
I love it. Like I want to go ride Splash Mountain right now. Oh wait, but I can't. So
Can you imagine
anyways.
like closing that ride that people loved just to make an absolute disaster? Fitting with Star Wars and like the last few things they've done.
Well, once again, you got to remember why they closed it to begin with. They closed it because it was problematic. It's like, what was? Are you kidding me? It's insane. Anyways, rest in peace, Splash Mountain, and now it's a mountain of fiery hell, which is just insane. So, all right, another quick hit here. I saw this and I'm floored by this. If I was to show you, I mean, you guys all have seen this, but I can't believe this is this game.
Fortnite?
It looks like something like Apex merging with Fortnite with all the colors.
Wrong. Call of Duty. This is Call of Duty.
Mm-hmm.
This is Call of Duty in the year 2024.
It's so Fortnite though, because Fortnite had like the lightsabers and everything.
Yeah.
See, people don't even want to play Call of Duty because what Call of Duty is now is just like skins of Fortnite. The real Call of Duty like died years ago.
Oh yeah.
The Gundam side of it, okay, fine. This hashtag not my Call of Duty. I don't really know how to say it, but like that's not Call of Duty. Call of Duty is dark and gritty and pseudo realistic. It's so. I mean, yeah.
The problem these companies are facing is they think that merging is going to, or like crossover is going to get them a piece of like a market share, like of another audience market. And that isn't generally the case, especially, so like if you look, so Warner and Discovery merged, and now there's talks of more mergers happening with Warner. Warner was looking to merge with Paramount. That has since been taken off the table. But 3 sinking ships can't make each other float. Like that isn't how it works. You have to have something that people want. Like it's literally Field of Dreams. Build it and they will come. Like what these executives and these activists are failing to realize is that you have to have a foundation to build on. And they don't have that anymore. And it's when crossovers used to be like a cool one-hit thing, but you'd even see it in comic books. Like if it was like the Turtles and Spider-Man, that issue would sell really well, but it didn't bring any Spider-Man fans over to TMNT or TMNT over to Spider-Man. Like there wasn't enough of a significant shift in either sales category that the intent of the crossover actually panned out. And so a lot of these executives think that, oh, if we just do more cameos or if we just do more crossovers, or like the kids like manga, so let's pull the manga in, or let's pull the anime in, let's pull all this stuff in that a bunch of people like, and maybe they'll come to us because we have it all. And this, I actually went to business school, so hilariously enough, and the first thing I learned in one of my business classes was that you can make something for anyone, but you cannot make something for everyone. And that is the truth of the matter. Anyone is welcome to come to whatever it is you create, but not everyone will do it. And these conglomerates and these megacorps think that if they own enough and they absorb enough, that they can get everyone in the market to them.
I think that's such a great lesson that needs to be taught in the gaming industry as a whole, as they're doing their absolute best to appease everybody while appeasing nobody. And that's the downshift that you're seeing with all of these games. And it's a fascinating way to look at this, which actually is a great tie-in to our next story, which is I'm sure you guys saw the announcement of Concord, the new IP out of PlayStation. Did you guys see this one announced last week?
Very briefly.
So this is the game that in it is it's very much a amalgamation of like DEI and everything associated with this. This is a hero shooter, a 5v5 hero shooter that launched, and this is the screenshot going around that includes complete with pronouns in the upper right corner over here. Because you need your robots and aliens to have pronouns and such. When here, and the general response is that, as said in the gaming Reddit, Concord has the ugliest character designs I think I've ever seen, right? And this is a group of characters that includes 5 black women, 4 aliens, 3 robots, and 1 white man, and of course pronouns. So to get you extremely excited about it. Now, one of the lead character designers over at Firewalk Studios, which is the company creating this, is this guy named John Wisniewski, I guess, Wisniewski. And he, now I do want to put a little context behind this, because I think that this context is important, going back to 2020, what was happening 2020, specifically in June of 2020, the summer of love, right? Where he was responding to, some things about, what was happening, and talked about how white people are incredibly privileged and they need to actively work for equality. Now, it is noted, once again, this is this guy's mindset. And we talked about many times how 2016, 2020 really like broke people. And we're seeing that now. We're seeing the results of these people being broken or guilted in many ways, now 3, 4, 5 years later, as their work is finally beginning to see the light of day with some of these characters and things that he's working on. So yeah, that's where we're at right now. I would also like to point out that this guy has also quit X over here. He quit X and went over to Threads as well, which, Threads was like the alternative to X. So
who actually uses Threads though? Like, I keep getting notifications on Instagram saying, someone just posted on Threads. You should get Threads. I'm like, no, I won't.
Yeah. And Don asks a good question. What is up with these self-loathing people? These people just hate these people. They hate themselves. They're constantly upset with themselves. They're sad, and the guilt associated with themselves just living. That's the most fascinating thing about this guy. So, anyways, when you see Concord and you see everything going on in that game, and which ultimately, like, will be a failure. Like, Concord will not succeed. It will need to be put on Game Pass or the equivalent of PlayStation Plus, and for it to have any chance. But it's not going to have a chance because people don't want this. It has been normal men don't want this. Normal gamers don't want this.
No, but they'll tout the same talking points of it's groundbreaking, it's revolutionary, it's it's loud and proud, and letting us know that we're here. And what they won't tell you is that the studio will have had to shut down because of the ideology or because people don't actually support this stuff. Like, it is very low. So these people the self-loathing people want maximum return with low effort. That is what they are gunning for. They want to put in the lowest possible effort and still be able to get, the $1 million paycheck or whatever. Because it takes very little effort to send a tweet or post on Instagram. But when you actually have to develop and spend time and invest a big portion of yourself into a project or into something that requires an external response or external support, you realize just how hard all of that is. And you were shitting on all these straight white guys for so long, saying you could do it and it's so easy and we can do it better. And now you're finding out that that is not the case. And so it's reality bitch slapping them.
Doc Mars, I think you're right, Lady G, for sure. Doc Mars says, Concord is what happens, is what the Alphabet Mafia should be doing rather than ruining beloved franchises. It will only prove nobody wants this crap when their player numbers barely reach a few thousands. And yeah, I think that that's 100% right. Like, yeah, instead of taking existing franchises and shoehorning in, like we're going to talk about with Star Wars shortly, they've made their own thing, and it will live or die based off of their own ideals. And ultimately, I think it will die a horrible, horrible death, which is, it is what it is. Sigrid came in with the $20 super chat. Thank you so much, Sigrid. It says, strong IPs can get people in the door. A lot of people got into fighting games in general thanks to Dragon Ball Fighter Z, or fighters. But you also have to be smart about crossovers too. Otherwise, it's just bizarre. You're talking about the Call of Duty one. Yes, for sure. For sure. I mean, Call of Duty is the biggest franchise in video games. I mean, that's the reality of it. It just every year makes $1 billion. There's not many franchises that, I guess Call of Duty was at one time. Maybe Fortnite is bigger right now. But yeah, it's insane. All right. You talked about companies dying and the sad part of that and the ideology associated with that. We actually have another studio that is seeing that as a result, as Sweet Baby Inc., the thing that the company that started this whole thing, they've been lying low the last few months, but Sweet Baby Inc., client Avalanche Studios, lays off nearly 10% of its staff and announces closure of its New York and Montreal locations. Avalanche Studios, this is a company that has produced a few games of note, but they have released, about 10%, now roughly 9% of Avalanchers worldwide. The statement continued, it says, this is an exceptionally difficult decision, but we believed it's necessary to ensure a stable and sustainable future for our company. Our focus is now on supporting all Avalanchers through this challenging time. We're grateful for the invaluable contributions for those leaving and remain committed to creating incredible gaming experiences for our players. I think this is kind of weird. Like, while reading this, do you think it's weird that these companies are making statements about laying off their workforce? Like, is that necessary, or is that just no? I don't know. What's your thoughts on that?
It's kind of just become the standard, though, isn't it? For these game developers to make a social post, and I wonder how much of it is motivated out of fear, right? Because they want to have their word out before these removed employees get the first word out. So I think it's part of their way to kind of control the narrative by grandstanding with this more official looking statement before anybody can respond with backlash. Control the narrative, huh?
Control the narrative, yeah.
Or maybe direct it, right? Because if you have the first word, it kind of you setting yourself up to be the ones that are the standard, and then you can always argue if somebody comes back and they say, "Oh, I was unjustly fired," this, that, and the other thing. They can go back and be like, "Oh, well, we spoke out on this first." So,
right, well, that's why they add we want to support the Avalanchers. We want to support them. Okay, what do you mean by that? How? Because you're not going to be giving them a paycheck anymore. And so are you just going to take the problem? This is the other issue. These studios shut down or whatever, and then these people bleed into other areas, other studios, and bring the virus with them. And then it starts to infect there. Because it is nepotism, I didn't realize how rampant that it is, but it's truly just saturated almost everything when it comes to games, business, Hollywood. It's everywhere.
Oh yeah, yeah. You're right. It's extremely deep. For those who are like, who's Avalanche? They are the developers of Just Cause. If you recall that game, Just Cause was obviously or honestly a really fun game. Just explosions everywhere, ridiculous. They made 4 of them, Just Cause, throughout from PlayStation 3 on, and there's a lot of success. It was actually kind of a viral game back in the day. There you go. Thank you for that. But you can see the list of games. Blabs, would you read off some of those real quick?
All right. Just Cause, The Hunter, Just Cause 2, Renegade Ops, Hunter Primal, Rumble City, Mad Max, Just Cause 4, Rage 2, and then to be announced Contraband, but I'm assuming that's probably perhaps scrapped now. So yeah, there it is.
So anyone wants to write an article about this, you do it Just Cause and SBI Effect. And that's the tagline for your article.
There you go. There you go. There's a new game that they have releasing called Contraband, which is supposed to be due out this year, but it's been delayed. It was announced back in 2021, and it's supposed to be going to Xbox Game Pass.
I need to clarify to people in the chat. They're saying Hogwarts Legacy. That is not the same studio.
Yeah.
That is not the same studio. They're both Avalanche, but they're not the same Avalanche. Just to clarify, guys.
Cool. Thank you for that. So anyways, it's not the first or the last time we've seen layoffs in 2024 for the video game space. And it's like, when are they going to start connecting the dots? When are they going to start connecting the dots? It's right there in front of them. Speaking of not connecting the dots, Lady Gravemaster, it's time to talk the Acolyte. So look, I am not, I've said this many times. I am not a big Star Wars fan. I watched each of the original movies one time. They're films to me. They're not like a way of life like they have been for other people. And they continue to be for some people. Mm-hmm. But I will say this, it is really interesting to watch the absolute destruction of a franchise from the outside. And it is a constant reoccurrence. This is the clip that was going around over the last day or so. This is an interview from The Wrap, and we talked about this last night on Tuesday night's main event, but we'll go to watch this now. This is kind of one of the big things that's been passed around, and we'll get your reactions to this in just a second.
Considerable. I want to ask you both, because this is, I would say, arguably the gayest Star Wars, I think, by a considerable margin. And are you excited about that? Are you
not
bracing
the gayest
yourself?
Star Wars. Not the
It's pretty gay, let's be honest. Leslie, how do do you feel?
Am I gay? Yes.
Well, no, I know you are gay, but I'm asking, are you excited about putting this, this is going to be a talking point.
Is it going to be a talking point?
I'm sure so.
Because nerds are gay?
Yeah.
Well, some nerds are very not gay and are very threatened by.
Well, that's true. But in my world, nerds are gay.
Okay. Was this the fun element of?
No, I don't think so. And yet people have told me that it's the gayest Star Wars, and I frankly.
You're offended?
Into it. No.
I think that's true.
Can we, first off, love to get your thoughts on that, ladies.
I hate her voice coming from me. Like, that laugh was just, that's the laugh of Harvey Weinstein's former assistant who knew everything going on, guys. Mm-hmm. That's all I'm saying about that laugh. That is an evil, evil laugh.
I just hate how she's turning everything to about herself. Because I'm gay, right? Like, that's not even what the question is. Like, the question is about the show, but she just makes everything in that conversation like about herself. It's, I don't know. I think that even if it was not about this exact issue, it's just a bad look for the show because it's so obvious that it's her projecting herself into the show because it's all about her. It's not even about the show.
Lady Gravemaster.
The idea that these women are going to sit there and laugh as they burn something so many people loved to ashes, and they're going to laugh over it. And the fact that he had to, she's like, nerds are gay. Like, so you're pulling a very 80s bully stereotype out right there, that like nerds are lame, nerds are gay, right? And then he pipes in and says, actually, some aren't, and some are threatened. When you look at it like this, you recognize that all these people care about is destroying everything that came before because they want to rule over the ashes. And they think that it would make them superior. They can't compete with what came before. So there was a tweet that got shared many, many years ago, and it made the rounds again because I guess Rings of Power is getting ready to do season 2. But she said, look at what fantasy writers are competing with. And then she shows you J.R.R. Tolkien, C.S. Lewis, and Robert Jordan, right? That's who's on the shelves, and they're facing out. So it's not just the spine. You can actually see the front cover. And she said, we're competing with a bunch of dead guys. And that shows you what they think of this entire industry. They are standing on the shoulders of giants, of geniuses. And they loathe everything about that. I made a tweet after I had watched the episodes twice because I hate myself, but I said, this isn't written by someone who has an appreciation or a love for Star Wars as it was created. She hates the fact that it was made by a man, and she could not create something from scratch that even comes close to what George was able to create. And so she is doing everything she can to chop it at its knees. That's what these people are doing. They can't build something to reach that level, so they would rather attempt to tear down the foundation that these IPs are and rule over the ashes and say, look, not only are we as good, we're better because we have hindsight and we have empathy and we have, we're not ists and phobes and we know better. And yeah, these IPs made us money and we came into these for the fame, the notoriety, and what they could do for our careers, because we couldn't possibly create something like Spielberg did or like Lucas did or Donner did with Superman or anything like that. They are literally showing themselves to be not only creatively bankrupt, but morally bankrupt, because they are willing to belittle, degrade, insult. I got told, oh yeah, there's my tweet. I got told that, I posted up, like, Halo did a Pride tweet, and I was like, why'd you turn off, like, comments are turned off? I wonder why. I was like, so stunning and brave. And like, people were like, hey, you should probably go off yourself. And I was like, really? I didn't even say anything bad, but that's what these people are. They think that their rage and their wrath is morally justified. And it's just sickening to watch because as of right now, they're getting away with it.
Well, the response has been not positive. And you know what's interesting about this is if you listen to what she says on this, if you listen to what she says, she doesn't even realize. She's like, people have told me that this is super gay, and I didn't realize it. Like, so listen to this. She doesn't even realize what she's doing.
My world, nerds are gay.
Okay. Was this the fun element of?
No, I don't think so. And yet people have told me that it's the gayest Star Wars, and I frankly,
like, she didn't. It's like, people have told me this. It's like, if everybody's telling you something, why don't you listen?
into it. No.
I think that Star Wars is so gay already.
Okay.
I mean, have you seen the fits? We'd be like, look how gay this is, and then send each other a reference photo.
And are you telling me with a straight face that C-3PO is straight?
They're a couple. That's what I think. But this is more outward.
I think it's canon.
They're
Yeah.
Huh.
Ask Filoni. Okay.
So anyways,
They're
that's
droids. And why would you go to Filoni? Why wouldn't you go to George Lucas? Like this is what I'm talking about. Like when KK made that comment. Do you guys remember years ago? KK made the comment. Like we'd always be like, "What would George do?" Like we would always, we'd ask her. Like he's alive. Go ask him. It's
why are we thinking about droid sex? Like why? Like why?
Dude, this is the same Disney that made Lando a pansexual because he wants to fuck a robot.
That's right. That's right.
It's just a I think Quarter Black said it, but it's essentially just a dildo with more steps.
Well,
all right.
like that's literally what he said. I don't know if I just realized I probably shouldn't have said that word.
No, you can say that. That's fine.
But yeah, no, I'm pretty sure Quarter Black said it, and I was just like, I think that's true. Like I cannot fault that logic. Like it really truly it tracks. It makes more sense than anything in Disney Star Wars right now. That's for damn sure.
Well, the response has been not warm to this interview. So much so that they actually hid Jeremy's reply yesterday. Star Wars is dead after he ratioed them. Went into they was so bad that he ratioed them. Then you see things like things from who was this? Stephanie, My Nerdy Home came in with the quote tweet with the can't hide that. It says they don't care about Star Wars. They just want to protect themselves and their lifestyle project themselves and their lifestyle into an existing IP. This is garbage.
Actually, I think the best response to that
right?
was Anna, that Star Wars girl. Also, I hear an echo.
There you go. Read it off, Labs.
I don't have any more. Oh, you do. Okay, she says, if you care more about sexuality and storytelling, you should be making porn, not Star Wars, at Disney. And it's true. If you care more about that, then go make something with that. Don't make it Star Wars.
But they've admitted, I will have to find that for you because I found it a long time ago. They have admitted that original properties that are based solely on this propaganda and ideology don't sell. And so they have to, like, they've literally said, well, we have to put it in there because otherwise no one will buy it. It was when the Bros came out, I think, is about the time that it came out. And they were like, we make the stuff, but people don't show up. So we have to put it in there or otherwise people won't see it. It's because people don't want it. So they're literally forcing it on everyone else.
At what point does Disney go, we're wrong? Like the audience has spoken. What does that happen? Will that happen? Or is this just a company that's going to eventually dry up or a franchise that's going to dry up and die? I can't imagine that happening, right?
It's going to die. There was a new video game out, was it yesterday or today for Star Wars? That Star Wars Hunters game? Who's playing it? Who's talking about it? The only reason we're talking about this is because we see it all on our Twitter timelines and things. Otherwise, would we know about it? Would we talk about it?
Well, right. And I what the irony of all this, I feel like the people who are benefiting most from all this is not the people that it's supposed to represent. It's the people that are talking about it on their shows on a day-to-day
other
basis.
people are going to know about it
G&G.
more. It's the spreading awareness, basically. More people being like, awoken to the bullshit. Because some people were like, I can tolerate this, tolerate, and they're like, this is starting to fall off now. Like, I have a friend who is a big Star Wars fan, and he liked a lot of the Disney products that came out. He didn't like the sequels and all that, but the shows, he was like, this is good, that's shit. This is not good. And he's like slowly on decline. And he's not really into all the woke bullshit. But even the normies are kind of seeing it as like, no, there's something wrong here. Something's not adding up. What about what you said in this other show? Lore continuity and everything. So,
yeah, Baby Yoda can only carry you so far.
Yes.
Like that they are finding out that gimmicks are gimmicks for a reason. And when you try to build something off of a gimmick, it crumbles. Like Mandalorian has fallen apart. Book of Boba Fett was one of the biggest disappointments out of the entire Disney Star Wars lineup. I don't think anybody had much hope for Andor or Obi-Wan or Ahsoka. Like, I don't think people had very high expectations or high hopes for that. But Baby Yoda, like, literally, it's proof that even when they accidentally strike gold, they don't know what to do with it.
You know, and we're talking about all the things in the lore, and apparently it's supposed to get worse, right? So Chris Gore over at Film Threat, he's seen the first 4 episodes, and he says like the first two have been released. And Lady G, you said you've watched the first 2 twice, and from what I understand, they're pretty straightforward, I guess.
No.
You know, what's that?
No.
Oh no.
I
Okay,
disagree.
then
I disagree.
Tell us about it. Tell us about the first 2 episodes. And by the way, spoilers. Go ahead. Go crazy.
Okay. Well, let me ask you a question. Do you guys remember how everybody? It was JJ's Star Trek, the big ship crash into like the Federation. Do you guys remember it? Like, it comes crashing down, and it's the big spectacle, and Spock is chasing after Khan and everything like that.
In the second one, yeah.
They crashed down from space, and people were like, they wouldn't have survived that. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, the fact that it's this huge ship and it's crashing down and this explode, like, people broke that down because it's science fiction, right? Like, that's what you're supposed to do. So everybody just was like really honing in on that, and they were like, it doesn't matter that he's a Vulcan, it doesn't matter that Khan is essentially like a super being. They would have both died. In the Acolyte, the good twin, quote unquote, and oh god, the twin thing.
Yeah.
But the good twin, Osha, she literally survives a ship that's maybe a third of that size, hitting terminal velocity, starting to break up in the atmosphere, and then crashing into ice and rock. And all she has is 2 little straps on this seat that was holding canisters beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
But then she wakes up and she's clear across the ship, and she just like jolts awake. If she had been thrown from that seat, she would have been broken. And like people like, oh well, she had the Force. The Force would have protected her. It would have encased her. We have seen like the big difference between Osha and May, the bad twin, is Osha has essentially cut her. She was trained as a Jedi. She apparently washed out of Jedi training, so she'd be dead. But that massive lore breaking aside, that's not how the Force works. Like, if that's how the Force worked, then no Jedi would ever get... Order 66 would have never happened. It never would have happened because the Force would have encased them and protected them. And they're like, oh, well, it's just like, it's proof because when you see Master Torben and he's sitting there, he's meditating and he's encased by the Force and it's pushing everything out. And I said, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, no, that isn't the same thing. He was actively in tune with the Force. He was meditating to a level that most Jedi can't reach. And that's why the Force, he literally gave himself over to the Force. And that is why it was such a heavy concentration, no one could penetrate it. That's what was happening with Torben. What happened with Osha is she strapped herself in, she got thrown across the ship at a terminal velocity collision onto an ice and rock planet and was knocked unconscious. That it doesn't work. None of that, just that tiny little blip utterly destroyed everything. Because if the Force can encase a Jedi or a Force sensitive when there's danger, whether they're aware of it or not, because if you are unconscious, you are unaware of danger. Like, that's why you can't do this. So the fact that they're even alluding to that or using it as a cope as how she survived this crash, it breaks Star Wars lore and continuity all the way from the Old Republic through the original trilogy, because that isn't how it works. No Jedi would ever get shot or stabbed or betrayed or anything. Yeah, quite like none of that would have ever happened because the Force would have, protected them. Force shield. Like, that's not how it works.
This comment makes me laugh considering like this character's name is Osha, and I kept thinking like OSHA standards, and I'm like, what? But yeah, true.
Yep, that joke was not lost on me either. But the fact that just that one.
Did we lose her?
Did we lose her? Okay.
Like if you've only.
Oh, there she is.
Oh, sorry.
Hi.
My bad. It happens
Go on.
sometimes. But you don't even have to be like an EU deep lore Star Wars fan. You could have just seen the original trilogy or the prequel trilogy, and you'd be like, well, this doesn't make any sense, because if the Force is going to protect Osha when she's crashing, why didn't it protect the younglings when Anakin walked into the temple?
Mm-hmm. None of this makes sense.
Like,
You know
it
what Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was just gonna say it crumbles at the very foundations. This whole show is built on an absolute lie. The other thing is they leaned into the twin thing because, you know, like Luke and Leia, and they're trying to do that whole, oh, these were twins first, and they say your mothers, like they already have let you know that there's no father figure. Leslie Headland gave an interview where she said she wanted to put this type of martial arts in there because it's very feminine and romantic, and it's like the Shaw brothers meets Jane Austen is how she described it. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, that's not Star Wars. That isn't at all what this has to do with anything. And so when you look at the Osha-May dynamic, if Osha is having visions of May and that's how she figures out May is alive, then May would be having visions of Osha. Like, they're both, especially because May has what we've been led to believe is she's been training in the Force in secret on the dark side of the Force for years, which means she would have been able to find Osha long before Osha started having visions of May. Like, it doesn't make any sense, especially when you consider like the twin telepathy thing. All of it just falls apart at the seams. And then you get to the point where the Jedi are portrayed as bumbling, blubbering idiots who are morally bankrupt and care more about making an example of someone than seeking the truth of an assassin who's killing Jedi. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And people are like, oh, did you watch the prequel trilogy? That's the whole point. That's what George said. Like, you know, that they're supposed to be no, the prequel trilogy's problem is they tried so hard for Puritanism. They tried to be they were so devout in being this puritanical, moralistic view and assembly that they were blindsided by their own by their own morale. They're like, if you're in Jedi training, you will think like this because this is what we have preached. So that's why Anakin was able to secretly get married, and why Palpatine was able to take on that father figure role, because he was talking to the desires in Anakin's heart. It didn't have anything to do with the Jedi being incompetent. Like, as love it or hate it, Attack of the Clones proved that the Jedi are a force to be reckoned with. Like, we have this scene I know a lot of people have a problem with the amphitheater scene because it's just, it was just supposed to be a bunch of lightsabers in one spot.
It was awesome.
It was awesome, but it also proved that the Jedi are warriors. Like, they're peace. They're, you know, Mace Windu says the line, like, we're keepers of the peace, not soldiers. And that's what they're supposed to be. But in Attack of the Clones, we also see that the reason that they are able to be peacekeepers is because they are competent and they are capable. And that's why being betrayed by the droid army, and the thing is, or not the droid, the clone army, I mean, you got to think, it must be very hard to read clones because they were brought and structured up in certain ways. So in this series, we see Sol, who, by the way, is the best part of the show. If there's anything I could tell South Korean actors, you don't need Disney. For the love of God, just get away from Disney. But Lee Jung-jae is the best part of this show, of this series thus far, and I can already tell they're going to absolutely just butcher his character. But
well, you know what else they butchered? Science.
Yes.
As
oh God,
this came from Gary. It just says a fire in space. Now, Blabs, I don't know if you know a whole lot about fire, but
it's hot.
When you start a fire, what does a fire need?
Oxygen.
Oxygen.
That's right.
Sticks, perhaps.
What is not available in space? Flags?
Oxygen.
Okay, I was just curious.
You just gotta make sure, man.
Did you see what she did to put the fire out? Have you guys seen that part of the episode? Like after she's done having her flashback, yelling in her
she
head.
sprays it with water, right? Because there's no gravity.
Wait, no, she doesn't spray with water, does she?
She sprays it with like you're supposed to believe it's supposed to be like a fire extinguisher, but it's water. I rewound several times and I was like, that's water. And she's like, and it doesn't. It's just one of the like hand spouts. It's not. It's not pressurized or anything. It's just she holds out a little canister and she sprays it.
Isn't she wearing like a mask too, like a helmet and everything, because she can't breathe outside because there's no oxygen?
Yes. But apparently, if you can make bombs drop from space where there's no gravity, you can make fires burn in space.
They're just taking the science out of science fiction. It's just fiction.
Listen, I think I have the cumulative summary of the Acolyte. This is it. No gay, no peace. Defund the Jedi.
Oh, goodness. Wow. Well, you guys obviously have a lot of comments on this, and we're going to get to those. But apparently this is going to get worse as they've only released the first 2 episodes, and I think I am going to watch these. I think that the vast majority.
But like you wouldn't know what you're missing unless you're just going to go in there as a completely blind person and just see how it is story wise. The CGI looks like shit, by the way.
Okay, here's my thoughts on this. I'm not a fan of Star Wars. Right? When they release a new Star Wars anything, what's the idea? To bring people into Star Wars. So I want to look at it objectively and say, would this bring me into Star Wars?
You're like, I can't be hurt by this because I don't have any love for the franchise anyways.
Right.
I hope you sail the seas for this one.
That's what I did.
I just kind of figure it out. But so they released the first 2, and apparently the third one is where they jump the shark and they say, look, we're going all in on this nonsense, right?
You already jumped the shark.
Well, Chris Gore said they completely redefine what the Force is. You're going to see 2 mothers conceive twins, a bunch of witches it is basically the Jedis turn into cops and child protective services. It's like CPS of the galaxy. He says episode 1 and 2, whatever, it's fine. 3 and 4, get ready for pronouns in Star Wars. It's happening. I'm literally considering having a funeral for Star Wars. Literally get everyone to dress up, wear dark glasses, give eulogies, play organ music in the background, because after episode 3 of The Acolyte, it will cause a lot of discussion. So there we are.
R.I.P. Star Wars.
That's all they care about.
We had a good run.
They can't put face, like they can't put eyes in front of screens and they can't put butts in seats. So the only thing they can do is like the discussion. And they're like, look at how many people are talking about Star Wars, because then they can take that to their investors and their shareholders and be like, look at these analytics. Look at how many people are talking about Star Wars. Look at how many people are talking about The Acolyte. And they're going to completely, so this is like, it's selective. It's selective cherry picking of the news or of the facts or whatever you want to say. And they do this because they're not lying. They're just not telling the whole truth. Yes, people were talking about it, but they were talking about how terrible it was, how lore-breaking it was, how disrespectful to the franchise, to the fans, to the people who have literally built this. That's the thing that blows my mind. They are insulting the very people who helped build these IPs into the billion-dollar brands that they are. You wouldn't have paid $4 billion for Star Wars unless there was a reason to, unless there was a fan base or some type of financial almost guarantee that it was going to be worth it. And they have, I don't think I can say that word on the YouTubes. They have self-deleted themselves on this they have self-deleted the franchise. They've dug themselves into a hole. How KK is still in charge of Lucasfilm is wild to me.
You know what's interesting is I always like to see kind of what things look like as far as when it comes to like events fan events and such. And I went through it, and there's an event called Star Wars Celebration. And I was going through Wikipedia, just looking at like the attendance numbers for this event. And what's interesting is after COVID, they have not released the attendance numbers for this event. Whereas pre-COVID, they were very, very open, 70,000, 60,000, 50,000 people attending, et cetera, et cetera. But post-COVID, they have not released any numbers associated with it. You wonder why that is. I mean, I think we all understand why, but it is what it is. So
though they showed pictures. So there was like pictures of attendees came out, and the difference between because the camera, it like zooms in and it makes it feel like there's a whole bunch of people there, but then when you get like a wide pan shot from people who were just posting on like their social or whatever, you realize that they've really just kind of corralled people into a section to make it look like it's packed and it's not actually full. And some people were like paid influencers to show up and generate news. And other people were like, they were lifelong attendees. And so they come because this is something that they've always done. It's like a tradition. And so the fact that Star Wars Celebration has absolutely careened off of a cliff. So I don't know how much of Star Wars Celebration you guys watched. I know, Craig, you said you're not a fan, but they went down. What they used to do is you would get to see like the costumes from the set, and you'd get to see set pieces, like the miniatures of some of the ships, and you'd get to see some of the you get to see some of the weaponry on display outside of just lightsabers. So you would have rooms of stuff, and then there would usually be like a big reveal of whether it be a ship or a character or a costume or a book, a new novel. It's not there. It isn't there. And so the lack of enthusiasm is blatantly obvious, because when they did a reveal of a ship, and it was a Lego ship, and there were like maybe 20 people in the room, and it got like a limp-wristed, not even a golf clap. It was just like people realized everybody was just standing there. They saw it, they weren't impressed, and then someone told them to clap.
Right.
Please clap.
Yeah. Like that's what it was. It was like, oh, we're supposed to clap now. Like, yay. And it's just wild.
Well,
It
I
is.
have like the perfect meme for, Disney right now. Anything profitable.
Oh no.
There you go.
Perfection.
Nailed it right there. Absolutely. All right. Well, I mean, it's obvious that the South Park meme with Kathleen Kennedy is very, very true. The whole put a chicken and make her gay thing. That's literally what they've done in the Acolyte.
I want to know who murdered someone that KK is aware of. Like, what blackmail does she have on who?
Right. And that's how it works in Hollywood, though. Like, legitimately, that's how it works. All right. We see all your super chats. Let's get to a few of the larger ones. Then we got to talk to Magick about this insanity that's going on with her in the Halo world. Valkyria came in with the massive $50 super chat with that Australian money. Blabs, go ahead, read that off for me, please.
All right, let's just hope they don't touch Darth Revan. Only Star Wars I enjoy is SWTOR. That's the Star Wars online game. And as always, Skull.
Skull, indeed. Thank you so much, Valkyria.
Here's what we get.
Oh, that's nice. Good for that. Good for the jiggle right there. Also, Riddick came in. Go ahead, read that off, Labs.
It's the spirit of Cain from Cain and Abel. Destroy that which is admirable because you refuse to do the work required to be admirable.
Boom.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Blitz Nostradamus came in. Blabs.
For half a century now, Star Wars was all about adventure, heroism, and overcoming tyranny, which are concepts these adults cannot even begin to comprehend. Everything must revolve around the message. Screw these clowns. I agree. I wouldn't even watch, honestly, Craig. Like, don't give them a second of your time. Show them.
I feel like there's too many memes that are going to come out of this though. Maybe
Yeah,
I should
but
just
you listen. All you gotta do is support the YouTubers who are genuine about Star Wars and really want this to fix itself. Go watch their reviews, and you'll have everything you need to know. And you're supporting a YouTuber out there.
That's right. Ian came in and says, "Imagine being stuck in an elevator with them." Talking about
Oh my god, they'd be like, "Are you gay? Why not? If you're not."
Where's the emergency release on this elevator real quick?
Just cut the brakes, end it now. I'm willing to go. I'll take these guys with me.
It's time.
Oh.
Let's go.
That
All right.
that laugh alone, I would rather be subjected to 40 hours of elevator music than 40 seconds of that laugh.
Oh my god. All right. Hey, speaking of Star Wars Celebration, by the way, I found this, and this was interesting, that they are skipping 2024.
Yep.
Just saying, nope, we're not going to do it this year. We're going to come back in 2025.
Yeah, aren't they doing in like Paris or some shit in 2025? I thought.
It's in
Europe.
As a yet to be disclosed location as of right now.
I could have sworn that they said there was going to be some big Star Wars thing in 2025, and it was going to be in Europe.
They usually do Star Wars Celebration Europe, and then it's because it's supposed to be less. The best way that this got explained to me was there is less bad blood towards Hollywood across the pond, and so they get more support. But then also people who are willing to come from the States will usually bring people like with them, and they'll shell out way more money because they see it as a not an event, like an experience and like an adventure, as opposed to just going to another convention.
And I was wrong. It was in Paris. It's actually going to be in Japan in 2025. Star Wars Celebration Japan.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Let's get to this. Let's move on to Magick here real fast. And well, not real fast. I want to take time and talk about this in the best way possible. Okay, so Magick, you let's talk about the quote unquote controversy around you. How did you came on the show shortly after your first controversy? Why don't we give people a little bit of background on that before we get into what's happening now?
Yeah, sure. So I am a Halo Infinite commentator or shoutcaster. At that point, I was working with one of the higher production groups in Halo. So we were covering all like the main events as a side event. So basically, we worked hand in hand with HCS Halo Championship Series, although I didn't work for HCS, so I want to be clear about that. So we did cover all the pro the Halo scene events. I was traveling around to all the HCS events, which most of them were in Texas. So I was in Texas a lot last summer, and then fast forward to September of 2023. And I had in the summer or late spring maybe hosted a women's tournament, but I did it through a subgroup called Women of Halo. So I ran it out of their Discord, advertised in their Discord server, and I ran this ladies tournament series that I hosted, advertised, got the funding for, etc. And then I wanted to do another potential women's tournament series in September, but I wanted to bring it under my own Discord server. And so when I was setting up the organization and the sponsorship and everything for trying to put together this women's event, I just decided that I was going to make sure that it was for biological females only. And I made a tweet about that, letting people know that, hey, this is going to be in my Discord server, and I want it to be for biological females only, and that tweet blew up. I mentioned in that tweet that, I'm a Christian, I believe in two genders, and so I want this to be, for biological women only. I'm not allowing any transgender women to play in this tournament. And that kind of led to me getting quote-unquote canceled, although I guess I don't know how much I like to use the term canceled, but I guess that's how it would be portrayed, is that I got canceled. Right. So I lost all my sponsors, and I lost, I got fired from the group that I was casting with. And for a while there, I had nothing in my Twitter bio except for like the cross icon, which I thought was kind of a beautiful thing in a sense. So I had to scrap everything else out of my Twitter bio, anybody that I worked with officially was removed. So anyways, that one tweet it has, I don't know, 4.5 million views or something. It went pretty much across the globe. I had friends across the pond that were messaging me that work in game development that said that their bosses came to them and said, why are you friends with this person? Anyways, so that was kind of what had happened back in September. And as part of that, the Women of Halo Discord server removed me at that time with no message, no explanation, whatever. And I just kind of like left that part of it alone. So that's, I guess,
Right.
the backstory.
Okay, so fast forward to the last couple weeks or so. There was a new Women of Halo tournament, and they were looking for participants. Is that right?
Yeah. So Women of Halo got an organization sponsor for a $5,000 tournament. Kind of a unique concept. They were going to take one pro player from HCS for each team, and then 3 of the Women of Halo community members for a total of 4, because Halo is traditionally a 4v4. And so they were promoting this $5,000 tournament and the applications for it. But when I went to the application, it said that you had to be in the Women of Halo Discord server in order to apply for this tournament. So I sent them a Twitter DM as well as an email and just said, hey, I want to get back to the server because of this upcoming tournament. And they said no.
And so you were rejected because you were not a member of the server. And do you think that they kind of a silly requirement being a part of it, being part of the server to be associated with this? And you are a woman who champions Halo, who loves Halo, who enjoys the game, and you casted, you played. So what were the reasons they gave you behind not outside of not being a part of the server? What were the issues behind that?
No, the only issue was that I'm not part of the server. So I don't think there was anything else that was preventing me from applying. I think that I'm not like one of the best women competitors in Halo, but I'm close enough to the top to be reasonably considered for a competitive tournament of this size. But no, they sent me a very long email, which was actually after applications were closed for the tournament, that said that they couldn't let me back in the server because they had to care about members feeling uncomfortable.
Right, and you've shared some of those emails with Blabs. We have those. Are we good to show those?
Yeah, you can show it on there. Yep.
So
the only secret is my first name is going to get leaked. So
is that okay? Are you okay with that?
No, I'm kidding. You can have that. Yeah.
All right. So here we go. Here's the initial post about the Women of Halo right here. They're closing the applications. Kindly submit your applications before close to be considered for participation. Right. And Women of Halo is creating a safe, positive space for women and non-binary gamers to connect and grow. Ask about our Discord server. There you go. So real quick, who runs the Women of Halo?
They have a committee. I think it's on their Twitter, but there's a group of, I want to say 5 or 6 people that are the leadership for the server.
Are they all women?
I believe so, although like I don't know. I think they are, but I don't actually know. I don't know them all personally. I know some of them personally, but not all of them.
Okay, they do have an executive team that I pulled up here over on X, which is, they all look like women, I'm guessing. So here they are right here, Haley Legros and whoever, I don't know who these people are, but there they are. They got a nice little graphic. There's 5 of them. That's the executive team. So these are the people that are pulling the strings, making these decisions. So the next part of this is, this email here. And you emailed them, and then they responded you back.
Yeah, this was a response to my email saying, hey, with the upcoming complexity tournament, can I get invite to the Discord? Because that's what they said. Hey, if you want to get in our server, DM us or send us an email. Obviously, their email's in their bio, so I did both just to cover the bases. And this was a response via email. And the unfortunate circumstance is talking about how in September I was running an independent women's tournament that I decided not to allow transgender women to compete in is what they're referring to in that line.
All right, so let's go read this real quick. We have met as a team to discuss the unfortunate, sensitive circumstances regarding your situation within the Women of Halo community. They laid it down. The unfortunate. It's so sad that you did this, Magick. First, we want to acknowledge your beliefs and express that we respect your perspectives. Let's just we don't want to offend anybody. Just want to let you know we acknowledge you. We understand that everyone has unique views. Unique, by the way. But that's the most fascinating about this. Magick, you're unique in your views.
Thank you. I'm very special. With believing in biology is now very unique. So
yes, absolutely. All of which we are entitled to, and we hold no ill will towards you. Oh, really? However, it has come to our attention that your presence has unfortunately caused feelings of discomfort among community members. And it continues. Despite our efforts, we have not yet reached a clear resolution to the conflicts that have arisen. What does that mean? Like, what efforts have they made? Do you have any idea? Have they talked to you about that?
I have no idea. I'm sure they had a conversation. When I sent them an email, I fully expected them to be blindsided that I would even ask to be able to rejoin the server after they removed me with no explanation. And honestly, I did go to a friend of mine and ask them, I'm almost 100% sure I didn't break any of the server rules or guidelines with what I posted on Twitter. So I asked a friend of mine to go back and look at the rules, and they don't even have any rules posted. Like they had no leg to stand on, first of all, to remove me from the server, and now to deny me entrance. Other than that, I make people feel uncomfortable. That's the best they could come up with.
Well, let's continue with this, you uncomfortable maker. Let's see. To maintain, this is awesome. This is just so good. To maintain the wellness and harmony of those currently active in our community, we must take steps to ensure a positive, comfortable environment for everyone involved. We appreciate your understanding and patience as we currently are currently undergoing a comprehensive review and reorganization to better address this situation, as well as other situations that have arisen. I'm fascinated as a man that women consider this a situation, that consider the idea of, dudes being considered address this situation. As a man, and I'm asking this to all the women here on Side Scrollers, what's wrong with y'all? How can you be letting this happen? Like, I don't understand it. And I say you, I mean, just in general, how can women be so quick to just give up their space that they fought for so quickly? Is it the emotional aspect of it? But like, how? I don't understand.
It's the virtue signaling, and it's the guilt tripping, because women are very empathetic and sympathetic, right? So then they get tricked into it. And I mean, you can even look at, let's say, Emma Watson, huge feminist, literally did this interview years ago with this trans person. And she's like, oh, I would absolutely be okay with sharing a bathroom with you. Of course, I wouldn't bother with that whatsoever. And like, she's basically just giving up all of her rights that other women previous to her fought for. But she's got these luxuries, right? She didn't have to fight for a thing in her entire life. She's been loaded since she was 11. So it's women like that who ruin it for everybody else.
There's just this idea, because I've asked myself that same question, Craig. Like, why? Like, why is the majority of the people that are trying to like shut me down are women, right? Like, I would think those would be the ones that would be, trying to back me, because I'm trying to create a space for women. But I think Blabs really hit the nail on the head. It's the idea of like niceness, because as soon as you go against that agenda, all of a sudden you're labeled as, and I've been labeled as being anti-woman. And I was like, how do you make sense of that? That I want to create a space, I want to bring in sponsors and funding and, put in countless hours of organization and planning to create competition for women in Halo. And then they turn around and say that I'm anti-women. So they give you this label of like, all of a sudden, like, you're not nice anymore. You're not considered a nice or a good person. if you go against this. And so I guess I've just accepted this fact that like I will always treat people, you know, with kindness, with respect. But if they look at me and they don't think that I'm nice anymore, that's fine. I don't have to be nice. I'm not going to be nice at the expense of like my rights as a human. I'm not going to be nice at the expense of the next generation of female gamers. Because what's gonna be here for them if we're not speaking our voice right now? If we're so worried about being nice right now, there won't be anything for the next generation of female gamers.
Yeah, it's the Salem witch trials, like on steroids, essentially, where you get ostracized from the group and they burn you at the stake, like to hold on to the idea or the illusion of power that they have. And it's been happening for years. I mean, I had a history teacher, and he said that men build empires and men can topple kingdoms, he said, but women can burn down the world and still be adored. And we had no idea what he was talking about. But if you look at like Cleopatra, she did something that the Romans and the Greeks and the Egyptians, like all separately, could not do. She took out the Roman Empire, the Greek Empire, and the Egyptian Empire in one swoop. Like she took all three of those powers out in one shot. And then you look at Queen Elizabeth II and her sister Mary, who gets the nickname Bloody Mary, but Elizabeth should have Bloody Elizabeth as her tag as well, because they slaughtered thousands of innocent Protestants and Catholics between them, all for like power. And when Queen Elizabeth II died, because she didn't take on, you know, a husband and an heir and whatnot, like it left a power vacuum that destroyed England as it was known. Like these emotional decisions, especially with women who have very high seats of power, or like in your case, Magick, where you know it's a Discord server, but they were able to ostracize you, label you, and still come off looking nice because we respect your point of view, but it can't be here. Like it's that same, it's niceness as a weapon. And it's as long as I appear to be kind, it's the backhanded compliments, it's the passive aggressiveness, because women are not direct. We tend to take very indirect routes. And when you do stuff like that, it has sort of wormed its way through all of these different areas before it ever even comes to your front door. That's why you'll get a knock on your door in an office. And I got told at one of my previous workplaces, they were like, well, we heard that you and your coworker, who you two are like best friends with, you complimented her on her dress because her skin tone matched. My friend was black and she was wearing an olive dress. And I said, that looks really good on your skin tone. And she's like, thanks. She's like, that blue looks really good on yours. I got called racist because I said that. So like and I saw nothing wrong with it. I was complimenting her, and I got a knock on my door that said, you've made a lot of people uncomfortable. And you have the same exact, almost identical verbiage in that email. They use niceness and politeness as a weapon, so that you can't be like, oh, well, they came after me or they targeted me. That's exactly why they phrase it this way. Because they can be like, no, we were reasonable.
You know, there's and thank you for that. Thank you for your answers. I think that's exactly what I thought. It's the fear of being called mean, more or less. That's really what it comes down to, is women are very emotional and they don't want to be called, they don't want to be a meanie pants. You know, that's really what it comes down to. Those words mean something to them. Dev asks a question, which I think it's a worthy question to ask. This question for Magick Moonshot: would you have allowed a trans man into your woman's only space? They are biologically female, after all, being female to male.
Yeah, I ended up clarifying that point specifically on Twitter after the September debacle. But the short answer is yes, because I was dividing based off of being a biological woman. what I would consider a quote unquote real woman, and maybe just normal women. So I would have said yes in that case, but I personally didn't know of any, which is the fact. So I knew of a few or maybe even several transgender women that are biological males that had regularly competed in these women's events. But the short answer is just yes. That's fine. Yeah.
So where are we at now? What does this mean for you, Magick? Are you going to continue to try to support this community, or are you going to start your own? Like what there's got to be, I don't know, there's got to be like what's the plan here? What's the plan moving forward?
Yeah, that's so hard. That's kind of the point I'm stuck on. So I am still regularly casting Halo. I am in a community that is a very pro free speech community. So they're very open to the fact that they actually recruited me into this group after I got canceled. They said, hey, if you need somewhere to cast, you can come over here and like you can believe whatever you want to believe and still talk about Halo, because this is about playing a video game, not about what you believe and what people don't want you to believe. So I am still actively casting Halo. I cast about twice a week or so on average right now. I'm pretty happy with that. I did build a separate Discord server that I have my own like verification process that is a women's only server, but it's kind of kept on the down low. I've kept it really small. Maybe somewhere down the road I would like to provide esports events, because that's what I love doing. I love producing, hosting, casting esports events. I would love to do more esports events for women, but it's always the trick of finding the right sponsors, especially now that I have the Scarlet Letter, to go back to your point earlier.
Right.
So yeah, I guess in the short term, it's just a little bit of picking the battles, picking about when I want to speak up about this and when not to. I'm not trying to like turn around and become like the Riley Gaines of esports, because that would be like a whole nother full-time job, but I'm at least kind of exploring what that would look like. And I'm open to suggestions, because I always agree and I always believe in like productivity. I don't want to sit here and just complain about what's wrong. I'd rather do something that I can like believe in and put my heart behind. So I'm still learning as I go.
Yeah, for sure. Actions. We got to like, talking about this stuff is great, but I've said this before. We just got to make things happen, right? That's super important. All right. Speaking of making things happen, guys, thank you so much for your support today and making this show happen. You guys are the people who make this show go on a day-to-day basis, allow us to devote as much time as we possibly can to making this show happen. So we appreciate your support, whether it's through super chats, direct donations, or Rumble rants, or merchandise pickups like PK Earnest, who picked up the American Pride t-shirt. Hey, thanks so much. Appreciate it. Says Godspeed, Craig. No, Godspeed to you. Once again, if you guys want, go pick up the American Pride t-shirt, available right now over on the merch store. Link is in the description. Would really appreciate that. They're available just this month. So pick it up, show your pride with the American Pride t-shirt. All right, but let's go and read some super chats. You guys show off some of that support. Let's go.
All right, Scarfy says, Craig, no! First Asterix and Obelix, then Chrono Trigger. Now TMNT Mutant Mayhem are trying to make an enemy of the entire planet.
Listen, sorry about that. I know Europe really despises Ninja Turtles, apparently. So.
Dev says, a new future deep dive topic. One of the Acolyte actors, Abigail Thorne, is a bread tuber, communist YouTuber with 1.6 million sub channel and very dark past. Huh?
Interesting. Hold on. Let me do a little digging on this really fast. Yeah. Just to Abigail Thorne. Is that her name? Okay.
Anzac says, Blob's scrunchy face is hilarious. Thanks. Aaron Miller says, what is everyone's opinion of the Star Wars Legends continuity? I mean, if they actually did a continuity. So. They didn't do it. Where's Mara?
You can pick what you like. I don't know. I don't know what to say about Legends outside of they tried to reinvent the wheel. That's the best I can do with that.
Anyway, Dwight Power says a deep dive on sausages is a very appropriate topic for Pride Month. It is.
Whoa.
It is.
Hey, I just sorry. I'm blocked.
Wow. Wow.
by this
Hey.
person. I don't even know who this person is, but
I
I'm
mean,
already
I want to
blocked.
be blocked.
Congratulations.
Abigail.
I don't even know who this person is. I did it.
Abigail.
All right.
I want to find out. Is Side Scrollers blocked from this woman?
These are great questions, but I don't know. I mean, hey.
Oh, I'm not blocked.
We're not blocked from her. No, let's see. Let me see
have
my own. I want to be.
What'd you
blocked.
do, Craig?
Me. Congratulations. Hey,
I'm not blocked by her. That's fine. Whatever.
legit, and I mean this in the most honest way possible. Is this person actually a woman? Like you said this, Blabs. You said you blocked by this woman. I don't know.
No.
Oh.
That
this
Adam's
person
apple is huge.
Yeah, this person is going to be in House of the Dragon. 22 hours ago, tweeted this out. Very excited to announce this. I'm joining the cast of HBO's House of the Dragon. I play Sharako Lohar.
I'm blocked too.
Oh, there it is right there.
Man, why can't I have any fun?
They're actually watching the show and blocking as they go.
I have to say though, I think you might be onto something, Craig, because let's just look at this photo real fast. Look at her hands. Those are his hands. They're massive.
It's confirmed.
That's a dude.
Confirmed.
Oh, it's a dude.
Yeah.
That's a dude. Look at that Adam's apple.
Yeah. Well, anyways,
Abigail is more like Abby. No. Gotcha.
There's no Gail and Abigail.
No. All right. Sorry, continue. Oh, yes, but Blake points out this 21 women have sausages. That's right. There we go. Confirmed.
Man, baby. Peter says Stewed Pig's Feet is boss, though. I'll take your word for it.
I will too, Peter.
Trooper says, so we're just going to blow past the snail trail comment?
Yep, we sure did. Thanks, Trooper. Appreciate that.
Yay. Crazy says that Tiana ride would put me to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Doesn't
Crazy.
sound very exciting. Sir Cool. Disney literally stated that they didn't put in Dr. Fassler because they wanted to avoid religious iconography, meaning voodoo.
Okay. Thanks, Sir Cool. Appreciate that. That's silly.
Mercenary says it's about the total destruction of our culture. Correct. Side scroll Vern, says Torgo.
Yeah, good old Vern over there.
Mercenary comes back and says, I miss Earnest. I loved Earnest Goes to Camp. I miss the magic of Earnest at Disneyland. This is why I fight so hard to save the fun, magic, and love there. Thank you, Mercenary. Shield World of Dragons. Craig, did you ever figure out who the modern audience is? It's obviously Abby No.
Yeah, we established this. It's Blabs. Blabs didn't like that Monkey Balls advertisement, so it's gonna flop.
It didn't have any balls. There wasn't enough balls in it, so therefore.
Still searching for the modern audience. Nobody's given me a good explanation of it yet.
Because it doesn't exist. 90s Dragon says, dude, I remember watching a VHS as a kid with a giant compilation of Ernest P. Worrell ads. It's just as funny as any comedy movie or TV. Times change. Dude, I'm watching TV shows from the early 2000s again because nothing's good anymore on TV unless you look at anime. Frieren, amazing. But yeah, hardly anything good. Super Bear, video caused me psychic damage.
Thanks, Super Bear. Appreciate it.
Peter says, her laugh is something I'd expect from a Wicked witch. Oh, yeah, Leslie. She should have been Wicked in the new Wicked movie.
Oh, God, that movie is going to be so bad.
Somebody said, I'll get you my pretty and your little Star Wars too.
Yeah, no, I am not looking forward to that Wicked movie. I like the music. I've not seen the Broadway, but I like the music. I've been a fan since I was a kid. And that singing is atrocious. I'm like, ugh.
Have you read the books?
No. So I know nothing. I just like the music. But even just based off the music and the singing alone, who they had hired for the singing, I'm like,
do you know what the sequel? Do you know what the sequel novel's called?
No.
Son of a Witch.
That's funny. I like that.
People used to be so quippy, and now we've just.
Yeah, the Acolyte episode, the first episode is literally just lost, found. Good job.
Right.
I Am the Icarus says modern leftism is a cult. That clip makes it clear. Thank you, I Am the Icarus. Aiden says, bad news, Craig. I won't be able to make it to Rippaverse meet and greet because I'm going to Oklahoma for my sister's birthday at the casinos. I feel like that's kind of a win. Partying for you.
Aiden,
Right.
you're gonna have a great time, buddy. You're gonna have a
Yeah.
great time. Enjoy
We're
it.
gonna have fun.
Which casinos though? Because like Oklahoma is essentially all casinos.
Yeah, it's Native American casinos, the Indian casinos, right?
Mhm.
All right. Haran says nerds aren't.
Hold on. Actually, we have a message to your sister from Dan Vass.
Happy, much happy birthday for you.
Thanks,
Aw.
Dan. Appreciate that.
Wouldn't it have been hilarious if he had sung like if he just did the happy birthday song and that had took him to 1 million?
Right. I agree.
Ooh.
Haran the Blue says nerds aren't gay. We're just normal men. Or G for
We're just
what?
normal men.
What do you mean, normal men?
We're just innocent men.
Snort.
Sorry,
Aiden
Black.
says the Last Jedi was the last straw for me. I'm done. Yeah, it was no longer Jedi. It's just the last straw.
Oh, I hated Force Awakens was what killed it for me. I hated it.
It's all bad. The Orange Man says, fuck, marry, or kill for the ladies. Hulk from Marvel, Dragonborn from Skyrim, and Goku from Dragon Ball. Okay, well, I'm more of a Vegeta guy than Goku.
You got 30 seconds. Go, ladies.
I feel like Hulk will, like, destroy me, so I'm gonna kill him.
I guess I'm gonna F Dragonborn, marry Goku, and kill Hulk because Goku
Yeah, I'll go with
proven
that,
he
too.
Yeah.
It's fair.
But we're stamping it
concur.
in.
This is how women decide things. We get to do it together and make the decision.
United. There's your answer. Phil says Star Wars is joining Star Trek at the franchise graveyard. It's dead, Jim. Hobo Cop says, I wish the bad guys' entertainment had some aesthetics, but they're just ugly, out of shape, lack fashion sense, and can't do their hair properly. Yeah. You okay there, Lady G? I think she's coughing or laughing.
I started to laugh and I tried to stop and then I choked on my laugh.
It was both. She's laughing.
Hairball. Tons of fun says Disney Star Wars is only worth a Cleveland steamer nowadays, but even that is being too generous. Ugh. Thank you. Kyle Denson says, I don't subscribe to pronouns. That being said, I'm not buying the Concord game. As one ally of the LGBTQ told me, the game is not for me. Cool with me. Yeah, right. It's not for us.
Hey, real quick. Speaking of that dude, the philosophy tube.
Oh,
Here's
Abby,
what-
no.
Yeah. Here. Yeah, sure. There's the guy. Check it out. Listen how he opens.
What up, my glib globs? Rick and Morty is an animated TV show on Adult Swim created by Dan Harmon, producer.
So there you go. That's hem's original voice. And
Next time I'm on the show, I'm going to enter with that. What up, my glib glops?
What does it even mean?
hey,
Oh
and also
my gosh.
Wait, what does this person sound like now?
I also think, I have that pulled up as well, but I also think it's really a shame of YouTube for dead naming them in their here in the text here on the bottom of the screen. Yeah.
He went from
They
all
haven't updated their
Abigail?
CC.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the closed caption. That's really rough. So
I'll go get
here's what they sound like now.
him. Do your voice turn the phone?
Sounds the same.
How did mum and dad take it?
By the way, look at those
arms.
look at those man arms right there. Good Lord. Sorry. All right, let's go keep going.
Yeesh. Gusium says they crave comfort and harmony, so you must be removed for being a heretic. These women crave emotional comfort over all things. It's called the hive mentality with the queen bee at the top.
And she will kill you if she don't like you.
True. I mean, she can try, but
Magick's like,
they already tried. That's the fun in it now.
But in their view, like they're like, oh, she's gone now. Like we've won, but you're out here just being a badass and building your own thing and doing your own thing and proving that they don't have any power over you.
So, you don't have to give people power over you. That's the lesson.
Exactly.
What did he say? Glip glop?
Yeah.
I'm still on that.
What's up, glip globs?
Yeah, I like that. I'm gonna tweet that out later. Tons of fun says just buy a bunch of OG Xboxes and OG Halos and network offline like the old days with your friends and have a ladies' Halo night. Screw the internet.
Dude, I need more gaming girlfriends like IRL though, because like,
yeah.
Yep.
Tech
I miss
support
LAN parties.
gaming. Women ban a woman for wanting to host a tournament only for women. Equals 2024 logic. Magic, start your own community. I'll promote it. I got you, boo.
Agreed. Yeah, like I'm totally on board with helping you out. Whatever we can do, sponsor it, whatever.
Then Ian gifted 10 Slides Girl memberships. Ooh, woo, Ian.
Let's go.
Thank
Ooh,
you very
ooh,
much.
Ian. Puts us at 11 for the day. That's outstanding. Love to see that.
Master Gawa says, I like lesbians more than the next guy. Oh, but I have never had a pronoun or rainbow or anything. Why do we have to be allies to the sin of pride? I like individual people, not group ideas, nor sinful propaganda. Yeah. Fair
Thanks,
enough.
Master Gawa.
Tommy says, the modern audience is Generation Alpha, but Alpha has been canceled for being Alpha. True.
They are terrifying. Have you seen some of the stuff that they pull?
They're crazy.
They are insane, and they don't care. They do not care.
Eliani, I think. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce your name, but it's become a YouTube member. Thank you very much.
Hold on, keep that up real quick. Because they also came in with a $5 direct donation. Says, I'm going to take this time to announce my online book club where I read, where I'll be reading Lord of the Rings series, starting with The Hobbit. I've never read the books before, and I've been wanting to start a YouTube channel for years. No time like the present. First live is Saturday at noon. My YouTube channel is it's Elaine, the way that's pronounced right there, and then Book Club with an S at the end of it. Eliani's Book Club. So if you guys want to go subscribe to that channel for like a book club, you could do that right there. That's
it's in the little picture there too, right? The picture next to the comment.
There you go. Thank you for that. The avatar right there. Yeah. So thank you for that. Abdulio came in with a 2, says that Super Monkey Ball trailer is not the first trailer. It was literally called Official Sega Pass Sonic Team Reveal trailer. Not on IGN. I don't think it was, but either way, it says the first Super Monkey Ball trailer came out 3 months ago during a Nintendo Direct. Oh yeah, that's why we wanted to talk about that today, because Blabs was so excited for Super Monkey Ball. So, but thank you for that, Abdulio. Also over on Rumble, you guys, thank you very much. Dude says, I heard the villain wasn't allowed in the ride because of diversity rules. I've heard he was a great villain, the villain from whatever it is, the frog one. Saint D came in with the donation. Says Gabriel Iglesias had a story about Splash Mountain. All right. Lone Wolf says, why is Tiana dressed like a 19th century explorer going on safari in Africa? Thanks, Lone Wolf. I don't know. You got to ride the ride to find out. Better go to Disney World. Lord of the Ree says, Ernest Goes to Africa is goated. And then Jay Downs came in and says, Jim Varney was a national hero. I agree. Lone Wolf came in with a 5, says, so glad Lucasfilm has full embraced feminist dogma. God equals God is female equals the Force is female patriarchy. Our Force is female patriarchy equals matriarchy. Christian knights equals lesbian witches. Thanks, Lone Wolf. Dude says Hollywood is dead. Watch anime instead. And Lord of the Ree came back, says Discord story reminds me of how the power tripping rainbow clown of community manager banned me from the G&G Discord because I briefly mentioned Ryan's Chattanooga lookout shirt. All right, Lord of the Ree, thank you very much for that. And also, not to be outdone, our friend, I Am the Icarus, came in as a member for 1 month. It's only been a month. Feels like years. We've had a great month with you, Lord Icarus. All right, that is a great place to put a bow on today. Ladies, I want to thank you for joining and hanging out with us today. Oh, here we go. We got the official pronunciation. It's Eliani.
Eliani. Yeah.
Eliani.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. All right.
You can't even do that one. He's like phonetically.
Phonetics is tough. All right, Eliani.
Phonics works for Craig.
That's right. I'm good at reading and stuff. Ladies, starting with Lady G, tell us where everybody can find you.
Oh, well, first of all, chat, you've been amazing. Thank you so much. You guys were a lot of fun. Craig, Blabs, thanks for having me on. Magick, it was so great to get to talk to you and meet you. I'm definitely going to be checking you out. I am over on X, formerly Twitter, so X Twitter, as Lady Gravemaster. I'm also here on YouTube. And Eliani. I also have I do book clubs, but I do them once a month. And my book club is this Saturday at 8 a.m. Central. And we're going to be doing the first novel of Redwall. So the stream is just members, and then it gets made public after. But this is a chance to just get to hang out with members, see what they think, and then we get to talk about and read some really excellent books instead of the trash that is being peddled out of late. But yeah, my channel is Lady Gravemaster. If you want to go check it out, I talk about loads of stuff from music to games to videos, all the stuff. Books is really my jam. And if you guys thought I rabbit holed hard here, like over there's hours of stuff where I just go down rabbit holes. It's a lot of great fun.
All right.
And yeah.
Love it. We'll make sure link to your channel is in the description for sure. Magick, where can everybody find you?
Yeah, Magick Moonshot on Twitter or X and on Twitch. I do have a YouTube channel, but it's not active right now. Yeah, probably Twitter's probably the best place. That's where people get the maddest at me. So if you're here for the drama, that's where you're gonna find it.
Love it. Thanks, Magick. All right, and of course, you guys can find Blabs over on her channel. Links to everything is down in the description. You can find me over on the Side Scrollers Plays channel in just a little bit. I'll be playing Donkey Kong Country 3 today, finishing that up as I do my best to 100%, 103% actually the game. James came in at the 5, says if you use Adobe, they updated their terms that gives Adobe the right to quote access your content through both automated and manual methods. Spyware.
Yep, I saw that.
So looks like I don't have to spend some money every month now. I'll be deleting that and canceling my membership there. So that's good to hear. Love to see that. And look at this. ELT is everywhere came in. Puts us at 13 for the day. Thank you so much with a brand new member. Really appreciate that. Spectacular stuff. Thank you very much for all your support. As a Paint Shop Pro is the great alternative to Photoshop. All right, let's get out of here. Ladies, thank you very much for popping in. Thank you for popping in. Do us a favor, hit the thumbs up button on your way out and leave a comment if you wouldn't mind. I'd really appreciate that. All right, let's get out of here. You guys have a great day. And remember, people are going to try to keep you down. Don't let them. You guys got a goal. Go get it. Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.